Alright, well if you clicked on this video, then obviously you're here to learn a little bit about Malzahar. So let's get right down to it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the runes real quick for them. And I'm going to give you some reasoning and such behind why I'm picking these runes and my thought process behind them. So I know a lot of people, they like to go for early damage. They like to go for something like Arcane Comet. However, you have to realize that Arcane Comet is not the most optimal choice for the early game. Summoning Area is going to give you way more consistent damage in the early game, and what you're really looking for is to kind of stack up your mana with the mana flow band. Stay above half health and try really hard not to lose your shield. Your shield is going to be protecting you from a lot of ganks. So what you want to be doing is poking from afar and pushing lane hard. You want to shove them out of lane, and we'll get to that a little bit more in just a moment. So for our third minor rune, we're going to take Gathering Storm. And Gathering Storm is going to be coupled up with Futures Market and Magical Footwear. The reason is because Gathering Storm is going to give you more damage into the late game, which you want really badly as a Malzahar. You're going to get Magical Footwear so you don't waste your gold on boots, and you won't be going all in on fights anyway, at least not until 6, and even then you have that damage to kill without having to pressure so hard as to need boots. So, and then obviously you take Futures Market because we're trying to get you a strong lead. You see what's kind of going on here? We've got you playing a back, pushing lane really hard, shoving them out by poking the damage, and then we're going to give you Futures Market and Magical Footwear so you can maximize the amount of gold and the speed at which you can get your items. So that is the whole kind of thought process about the runes themselves. We're also going to take both Adaptive Forces and armor or magic resist depending on who you're going against. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit save on that. Next we're going to go and we're going to look at the items. Now I don't know how other Malzahar players do it. Oh, well, we'll take a look at it in just a second when I go to op.gg. But we're going to go with the standard start. We're going to go either Dark Seal or Doran's Ring, or, now that I thought about it, if you're feeling a little cheeky, because Tear of the Goddess is actually cheaper than it used to be, you can actually get this instead if you're really looking to push lane hard in the early game. To me, you can do just fine with Doran's Ring. You don't have to do that. But it's just some food for thought if you want to play around with it. Next, the core is going to be Liandry's, Rylai's, and Riftmaker, or Liandry's, Riftmaker, Rylai's. I know a lot of people, well, there's not a lot of Malzahar players to begin with. See, the highest clocking win rate is only got 500 people using it. But they start Liandry's, then they go to Demonic Embrace, and then they go to Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Well, while I understand why they do it, I think it's a little bit more important, in my personal opinion, to take Riftmaker because of that transcendence into true damage for the longer that the champion's in combat. And don't forget that while your E is on them, they're stuck in that combat status. So all you have to do is hit them with your E. If the battle lasts long enough, you can reproc your E with your Q and then push them over into that true damage route, correct? And then it also gives you the passive of all legendary items will also gain 5% magic penetration. This is really, really, really good on Malzahar. Not to mention, he also gets ability haste with this, 80 ability power, and 15% omnivamp. This is going to make Malzahar really, really strong. And then we're going to go ahead and look at his defensive options. Now, a lot of people used to say that Banshee's Veil does not stack with his passive. If you actually go watch the video I posted before this one, you'll see that they actually do proc separately. And at least in the video that I posted, you see that it actually comes in handy quite often, because I either have one or the other, or both up at the same time. And it saves me out on a lot of damage, like a lot of damage. So I'd recommend you play around with this if you like. You don't have to. It's a personal preference, but if you like, I really do think it would help. And then we also have Zonia's Hourglass, the standard for going against AD assassins. Yasuo in the mid lane, Zed, Talon, etc., etc. I don't think I need to explain this one too much. Then we have our offensive options. I typically, if they have a lot of healing, which I've seen a lot of teams bring lately, I'll take Morellonomicon. And if they don't, then I'll go straight for Demonic Embrace. If they have a lot of tanks, obviously go for the Void Staff, and then your in-game item is always going to be the Death Cap. I don't think there's much to explain there. I think that's all that we need to talk about as far as the runes and the items. Coming up soon, I will post a video displaying this exact rune set and this item set, and I will show you the results across multiple games. But I just want to kind of give you an idea of where my thought process is, and if you can see where I'm coming from. I think that you'll have a lot of luck doing this, especially in the lower elo when people don't know how to handle Malzahar. Other than that, I will see you again in the next video, and I hope you enjoy this. If you did, please hit the like button, maybe subscribe, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.